YouTube, what's the deal?
It's time to get real with Jahira. It's time to get real with Jahira.
YouTube, what's the deal?
What's the deal? One love.
YouTube, what's the deal? It's your girl Jahira, and I am back. What's going on, y'all? How is everybody doing? So, I wanted to come in and talk to y'all about something that just recently happened to me, and then kind of offering y'all what was presented so beautifully to me. So here's the deal. I've spent the past couple of days, or if I'm being completely honest, the past couple of weeks, in a bit of a, I don't know, I guess I've been doing some emotional spring cleaning. And in that process, that real introspective time, I've been getting to the root of what I have been holding on to that's been holding me back. Because we're getting ready to embark upon 2013, and I just want to get into the new year free and clear and devoid of those things which have proven detrimental to my personal growth, because I have huge plans, and I would like to press on free and clear, so to speak. And so one of the things that I've been giving a lot of thought to is this need that I've been feeling lately to be thanked. I know that sounds a little crazy, but it just, living the lives that we do, and especially being a parent, being a mom, being a dad, we know what thankless jobs are, and we know that we function in a way that oftentimes doesn't elicit gratitude from other people, but if we are truly selfless individuals, we go forth and we do so anyway. But lately, I've just been feeling this overwhelming need to be acknowledged for my efforts. And, you can turn on your little sassy voice and say, well, this life wasn't meant to be easy, and don't nobody owe you nothing, and if you're doing stuff just to be thanked for it, then you're not really coming from a pure place, and you have a point. But I think all of us, at some point or another, need to hear that what we have done, the efforts that we have put out, have mattered to somebody, and that somebody is, or a situation is, better off than it was when you found it as a result of your efforts. And when I look back at, relationships that I've had, at friendships that I've had, at tasks that I've taken on, and realized that, while I know that my efforts have markedly improved the people or situations, that I assisted, I didn't necessarily hear verbally that what I have done made a difference, and that somebody or something is appreciative of my efforts. And for whatever reason, and I really don't have a, conclusive answer to this, but for whatever reason, that affected me. It affected me. And so I've been in this place, this very odd, I've done this and I didn't have to, and I really tried my hardest, and I've wanted things to work, and I've put forth all this effort, and was it useless? Was it in vain? So fast forward to last night, actually. I was talking to a friend of mine, a new friend of mine, who rapidly, at the speed of light, has become a kindred spirit and an incredible soul, which I thank God for placing in my life. His name is Eran, or Aaron in English. And he has a YouTube channel, which I am going to post below, which y'all absolutely have to check out because this man sings. Y'all, when I tell you he sings, and it is not a game.edu, this man sings for no particular reason. He sings. So, anyway, I'm talking to him, and it was one of those conversations that turned very esoteric very fast. I mean, we just went deep with it. And he told me some things that I desperately needed to hear to such a degree that I didn't even realize how badly I needed to hear them. And then, of course, when you get in such a spiritually minded conversation, you tend to respond in vain. So I said some things to him as well that apparently proved beneficial. And so this led to both of us just kind of weeping, I'll be honest with you, just sitting on camera on Facebook, just pure, full-on ugly cry. We're both trying to hold it together, but I've got the snot going, and yeah, it was bad. But at the end of this incredibly transcendently spiritual, poignant moment, he looks at me with the kind of sincerity that is reflective of a person's absolute truth and said, "Thank you. Thank you. Thank you." He just kept repeating it. I could cry right now. Jesus, bridle my tears. And the way, and he doesn't know this because we haven't really, we haven't discussed it. And in that moment, I wouldn't have even known how to formulate the words. But the way that he said it felt to me like he was speaking for everyone and everything that had never expressed the kind of gratitude that I, in my, own internal dialogue, was seeking. It was though hundreds of people had, nameless, faceless people had designated him to be the person to say thank you to me. And and he went on to elaborate on what he was grateful for, and believe me, I was so floored because I hadn't had a conversation like this with another person, and I'm, I can do it with y'all because we have this kind of thing going, but utilizing my ability to be vulnerable on a one-on-one basis is difficult for me because there is an expectation that I am to be the strong one. And the way that he said thank you to me validated everything, every effort that I had put forth over the years. And I don't even know if this is going to make sense to y'all. I really hope that it does, but all you need to know is that for me, I am renewed and refreshed and really powerfully changed as a result of that. And I really wanted to share that with you. There is just an unbelievable, I'm going to repeat myself here, but power in expressing one's gratitude and doing so from a sincere place. So I want to say to y'all, and this was really the point of the whole diatribe I had going here for a minute, thank you. Thank you. And I don't just mean thank you for being in my subtastics if you are, or viewing this video, or heading over to this channel, or really any of that. I say this for every time that you should, and that place in your spirit that recognizes universal absolute truth, when you know that you should have been thanked for a kind word, a gesture, an effort, a deed, and warrant. Thank you. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for every ear and every shoulder that you have loaned out to somebody who could not or would not appreciate you for it. Thank you. I applaud every effort that you have made in this life and every effort that you will continue to put forth. I applaud your person, and you deserve gratitude for it, and you absolutely have mine. Please know that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's really all I came in here to say. You know, stuff is coming up, and I promise I'm going to get to it. But that just meant the world to me. That feeling meant the world to me, and I feel so much more empowered as a result of that conversation and that moment. So with that said, I also have to thank Eran. And again, y'all, this man has a gift that came from no one but God, and you would be doing yourself a grave disservice if you did not listen to it yourself. So please check his channel out and know that I love you, and you have my eternal and undying gratitude simply for being you. And I will talk to y'all very soon. As always, one love. Thank you.